Formula One's 2020 season began with some controversy as rival teams kicked off against Racing Point over its pink Mercedes clone. The Silverstone-based outfit's decision to use the design of Mercedes' 2019 car, the W10, as inspiration for its current challenger, it's safe to say, did not go down well with its competitors. Complaints were made, protests were lodged, and the team was eventually found guilty of illegally using Mercedes IP with its rear brake ducts. It was fined €400,000 and docked 15 Constructors' Championship points for its actions. But for the protesting teams, the FIA needed to go further to stop copycat tactics becoming the norm and protect the series from becoming what McLaren boss Andreas Seidel coined a copying championship. The fear was that F1 could end up with up to half the grid just copying the top teams, robbing the sport of the kind of technical rivalry that has been part of its DNA for years. Amid the threat of a showdown hearing in the FIA International Court of Appeal, Motor Racing's governing body eventually agreed to change F1's rules so teams would no longer be allowed to simply cut and paste other car designs. Following weeks of discussions between teams and the FIA, those new rules have now been revealed and explain in detail that teams will no longer be allowed to share IP with another outfit, nor reverse engineer rival designs for components which are known as listed parts. Such listed parts, as they are called in the F1 regulations, are those items that teams must design themselves and include the survival cell, aerodynamic surfaces and brake ducts. The rules make clear that for the creation of such components, teams can be influenced by the design or concept of a competitor's design, but must not copy them directly. So while a team may, for example, take inspiration from a new nose idea, like the Mercedes concept that has been adopted by McLaren, it is not allowed to try to get hold of the original designs of its rival car, nor try to replicate it completely. The rules are clear that teams can only adopt ideas seen elsewhere using information that must be potentially available to all competitors. Such knowledge can only be gained at race and test events, so no work on this front can be done away from the track. To prevent teams from reverse engineering rival designs, the FIA has imposed strict bans on a number of actions that have been open to teams previously. The FIA states that teams will not be allowed A. The use of photographs or images combined with software that converts them to point clouds, curves, surfaces, or allows CAD geometry to be overlaid onto or extracted from the photograph or image. B. The use of stereophotogrammetry 3D cameras or any 3D stereoscopic techniques. C. Any form of contact or non-contact surface scanning. D. Any technique that projects points or curves on a surface so as to facilitate the reverse engineering process. The reference to 3D cameras is intriguing because early this year, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff said one of his team's rivals had been spotted using such a device to scan its own 2019 car. He said the rival, who was not named, was spotted with the device, which had to be carried on a shoulder, capturing data from its World Championship winning car, which he knew would then be used to better understand their design. Wolff said, when you plug that into a computer, it gives you all the shapes. Now though, the new FIA rules will prohibit teams from trying to go down this route, and there will be careful monitoring of any components on cars that look as if they could have been directly copied from a rival. If there are occasions where there are big similarities between listed components on different cars, the FIA has the right to investigate the matter and will ask teams to prove that the design was done independently. The FIA said that its role will be to determine whether this resemblance is the result of reverse engineering or of legitimate independent work. Teams will be asked to provide data or information to prove that they have complied with the rules and designed components themselves from scratch. While there is little doubt that Racing Point's 2020 car made use of designs that are not allowed under the new regulations, the team will not have to make changes for 2021 when the rules come into force. The FIA has introduced a cut-off point for when it deems illegal reverse engineering behaviour to be classified, so the outfit will not need to change things for next season. The FIA says that any listed parts components used in 2019 or the first event of the 2020 championship will be deemed to having been designed by teams and not reverse engineered. However, any new parts used after that period will need to comply with the new restrictions. It also means that for 2022, when F1 is introducing an all-new rules package, Racing Point will have to ensure that all the listed components it uses have been designed by itself and are not inspired by another outfit. Do you think F1 is better off for banning teams copying each other? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.